Everyone, just would like to call this meeting to order of the Patton Township Planning Commission. And our first item of business is the approval of our minutes for last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes or any corrections or adjustments?
I motion to approve.
Thank you, Sharon. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Rich. So moved. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? So moved. 3, next on the agenda is public comments. Do we have anybody, either here in person or online, that would like to share some public comments at this time? Very good. Then, item 4 is opportunity to discuss First National or Center First Bank in the Patton Crossing development. And who would like to tee us up on that?
Hi, Brian. I'm going to let the developers team go over their presentation. First, I just wanted to show everybody our new website briefly. It's up on the screen. And if you're ever looking for current development plans, I just wanted to show everybody briefly where to find them. If you go to Government and Engineering, Planning, and Zoning, and Land Development tab, they're all found there. So that's just an FYI for everybody. The new website went live at the end of June, I believe, right, Doug?
So how often does that, so it's pretty live?
It's current.
Very
Yes.
current. Wonderful. That's a nice for everybody.
Yes.
Great.
So just an FYI, and now I'll turn it over to Tony to do.
Very good.
Hi, I'm Tony Fruchtel. I'm with Patton Engineering. We're the civil engineer for the project Patton Crossing. Also here is Heidi Nicholas and Bob Poole. They're with the ownership group for the property, and Brent Pasquinelli, he's with the Center First Bank. So we get into this and there's questions relative that I can't help you with. My team can. We'll get to them. So I was just hoping to, we could just jump right into the plan here. We go to the next one, Alex. Right there. So this is the existing conditions plan. Just going over this real quick. Yeah, where we're at here. This is the existing Aldi grocery store. This was phase 1. The part of the development that went in where there was some improvements done for the signalized intersection here at Woody Crest Street. There was a right turn lane put in and the main entrance drive for the project. There was a master plan done at that time that was approved that included 3,000 square foot retail buildings. They were anticipated to be more than likely restaurants, and then a 16,000 square foot 2-story building, which was anticipated to be an office bank building. That was the master plan. So if we jump to the next sheet, you can see the proposed project right here. And the bank that we are proposing would be this building right here. It's 14,800 and some square feet. It's 5,000 square feet on the bottom and 9,000 on the top. And that's basically because there would be, the footprint of the building is here, but the second floor would be over top of the proposed drive-through lanes, as most banks have right there. As you can see, the site there would be 54 parking stalls installed with this phase. And I say this phase because we are showing future buildings anticipated here and here. Those are not slated for construction at this time. They're kind of shifted around a little bit from the master plan, and we wanted to represent where they would be, what this whole thing in its entirety would look like. Some more of the development would include, there will be a retaining wall that goes around the site, the perimeter of the site, very similar to what the first phase has, where Aldi's is. It would be a 2-tiered wall. There's going to be landscaping between the different levels of the wall, uplighting. The sidewalk that would connect the interior of the site down to Atherton Street, we go around this area right here. There would also be, again, similar to the other side, there would be a set of steps that comes down from the, from this commercial area down. So that would be, I just encourage you to think of the other side. It's very similar. The wall construction, the amenities would be very similar to the other side. The plants around the perimeter. There was a tension wire guide rail system for cars and people around the top. That would be the same here. Part of this development would also include some roadway improvements. Alex, can you scroll down just a little bit or scroll? Yes, thank you. So the traffic impact study that was done for the site indicated the need for a right turn lane on Atherton Street to Woody Crest right here. An HOP has been submitted to PennDOT for that. It's being reviewed. There's one or two minor things we're working through yet. We're working with the owners of this property for the easements. That agreement's been reviewed and generally accepted. So that would be kind of the last step for that HOP to be put in place. That HOP also includes a lengthening of the left turn lane on Atherton Street into the site and the addition of one more lane right here. So those improvements are based on the full build out of this site. So those numbers that were used for that traffic impact study and everything were based on that master plan that you had seen 2 years ago for the entire site. So this is it. That's the anticipation. There shouldn't be any more improvements on Atherton or anything for this project. Now, the site also includes a right in, right out, which would be this road right here. These are all internal streets. There's a connector street right here, so there would be a loop around this entire section of the project. So access, this would be right in, right out. This would be full intersection with a, improved lighting timing system there. So let's see. Alex, can we jump to the next plan? Could we go another one? And another one. So looking back at the overall site, there is a stormwater basin. It's kind of way back here in the low corner of the site. It is designed for stormwater to get collected on the site. It's going to get back here, and then everything leaves the site through this pipe under Atherton Street, so it kind of goes back there and is managed, and then it comes back out. When this project evolves, when it gets bigger, the more this whole area here will be detention basin. So that little hole you see is kind of the start of what's going to be the rest of that site. The site includes there will be lighting on the site. We have an area for refuse and recycling pickup. It's centralized. It's one location. The anticipation is that everybody would use that one spot, the bank, in the future development. So trucks come in, kind of pick up and get out pretty quickly. As far as other utilities on the site, sanitary leaves the site through on Atherton Street, so that would tie in here. Water comes through the site at that same location. That's fairly innocuous to this project. So the bank itself, it'll have 3 drive-through lanes. It will have an ATM. I believe the ATM is on this lane here, and then a drawer and then pneumatic service to these 2 lanes right here. Like I said, it will be a 2-story building. Let me show the rendering, Alex. We do have a picture of what it's anticipated to look like.
Can I interrupt before you go there? Can I
Sure.
2 quick questions? So the drive-through traffic will then, once you go through the drive-through, right there, okay, straight out.
It'll loop around and can come straight out. There's an exit right here.
Yeah. And then what about pedestrian traffic from that area? So let's say we want to now head, in the direction of campus when you're there. How does one do that?
So if you're in the bank, then you can sidewalk to here, and out.
Yeah.
You can sidewalk to here and either down the steps or down the sidewalk. Both of these sidewalks are ADA compliant. The roads are ADA compliant, or you could use the steps. So this gets you to. You do have to loop around here. This corner is about 6 or 7 feet high, so there's no connection directly from here to this corner.
Uh-huh.
You do have to loop around the bank.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian?
Thank you.
So here's a rendering of the bank. This is what it's anticipated to look like. A lot of glass in the front, 2 stories, with a mixture of stone and/or brick and metal. And they liked the look of this building. They moved it forward. They thought the presence on the site would be a good, this would be a good first building for this phase, so they wanted to move it forward. We're showing the signage up there. We understand the signage will have to be permitted appropriately. I'll call that a wish sign. We haven't gotten to that part yet, so I'll let you know
I'm
that.
smiling.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, it's not permitted. That looks good. That's what they want to see there. So we understand that. So I think there are a couple outstanding items yet. There was a question on location of some fire hydrants. We can certainly work through that. There was a question on, the site currently has a bike path that connects from Park Forest Avenue, kind of loops down here. Our intention at this point would be to tie it into this street right here to continue that connection to Atherton Street. That bike path will evolve as the site develops. I mean, the master plan had shown where that bike path starts here and kind of ends here. I'm sure as we go forward, we can talk about the development and the connection to Atherton Street. I don't know, is there anything else we needed to talk about, Alex?
Just a question, where
Sure.
was the, where people go to use their cards to get into the bank? Was that on the back side, on that first row?
I believe the ATM was in this location right here.
Okay, so then people walk all the way around to get back to their car?
No, it's a drive-through.
Oh, it's a drive-through, and they
Sorry,
can
sorry.
drive
These-
right
these are-
into
these
there
are-
to use the ATM?
These are 3
Oh.
drive-through lanes, it will be a drive-through ATM. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and my understanding is that the location of those ATMs now, they're really pushing to get them in the building as opposed to out from, instead of putting it out here away from the building, keeping the machine itself in the building is a big
Security.
It's a big security thing.
Yeah.
So.
And those traffic improvements that have been submitted to PennDOT, those would happen before the entire Phase 2 would be completed, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Can we talk about the parking that you and I talked about
Yes.
earlier today?
Yes. So the plan that we had submitted was, our intention of the plan was to show an overall anticipated build-out for this area right here, which of course included this building and this building here, which showed a parking shortfall of 30 spaces.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But that was only intended so that everybody understood that because we moved these buildings around a little bit, that we will be coming back when those buildings come in, when we know what they are, we know what the areas are, and that'll be revisited. But the required parking for the 2 businesses that are on site now, being the bank and Aldi, require, I believe, 188 parking spaces, or 136 parking spaces, and there's 188 parking spaces available with this plan. So there will actually be more spaces there, with the anticipation that excess would be eaten up when those buildings come in. And what Alex is talking about is, our plan note wasn't quite clear on that. So I just wanted to clarify that, and we can certainly clarify that note, so.
Yeah, and also in the agenda, it states that zoning permits will only be required for the rest of the phase, so that won't be the case. We're going to see more land development plans.
Yes.
So I wanted to reiterate that.
Thanks. How about bicycle parking? Any bicycle parking at Aldi's or the bank?
Aldi has bicycle parking. We did show some there. We did not show any at the bank. I'm sure that we could find some spot for some bicycle parking there. And yes, we did not, we need to add that.
Now, this would not be under anything that we talked about last month, because this was approved already, so any future adjustments we would make for bike parking that we discussed last month would not pertain to anything in this instance, correct?
Correct, it actually is not even approved by the Board of Supervisors yet,
Right,
so,
right.
yeah.
Right. So even if it would be approved, it would not pertain to this because this was approved well before we began this discussion.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, future land development plans that come through will have to provide land parking,
Right.
yeah. Even though we approved the master plan prior.
Right, right. But as things currently stand, the Board of Supervisors haven't
No,
approved
they'll-
anything with that. Okay.
Should pass that in then September, so then after that, anything we see after that will have a bicycle parking requirement.
Okay, thanks.
attached to it.
So we're not making any motions on this, or are we?
Yeah, yeah. They're asking for approval for this.
Okay.
So technically, would they both go to the Board
Well,
of
I mean,
Supervisors at
under
the
the
same time?
mixed use, there's bicycle parking requirements under the mixed use.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll have to, so that should be a condition of approval if they need to provide the bicycle parking required under the mixed use too.
Yes.
Other planning commission members that are online? Any questions? If not, can we-
Ellen, I have a question if I can.
yeah, go ahead, Alan.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry I can't have my camera on because of bandwidth issues today, but I did appreciate your question about the bike path, and I just want to make sure I understand. Are you saying that when you say as we go forward, it'll connect, meaning it won't be part of this development and it'll be some future development?
So the master plan, the approved master plan has a bike connection on the roads essentially from Park Forest Avenue through to the Temple property. It did not have a connection that went to Atherton Street. I think when the master plan was approved, the thinking was that they didn't want to put bicycles onto Atherton Street. So when we came through with Aldi then, the request was, hey, you've got this open property, people are riding through here. Can we put people in there? Where are they going to go? Well, we can't put them on the Temple property at this time because we don't own it. And the request was, hey, bring them down to Atherton Street. So we did that. So essentially, that connection to Atherton Street goes away as this project goes forward, as those bike lanes go in. Now, can we stop folks from riding on those roads and using them to connect to Atherton Street? No, but there wouldn't be an on-lane bicycle route on that connector piece. So it's still, folks can still use it, people could still ride it.
So basically, starting where I have my cursor, that's
Yep.
where the road, Roxbury Lane will be built, right here.
Correct,
So the bicycle path will terminate there, and then it'll just be a roadway.
yes.
And there's nothing we can do to provide for cycling safety at that point? I guess it seems kind of scary.
There's nothing really to connect to at Atherton Street is the problem. That eventually, when we were talking about this with the master plan way back when, I'm trying to turn my camera on so you can see me.
I can hear you.
When we were talking about this, the temples at that time were talking about not the temples, but the property manager was talking about developing that parcel more or less simultaneously with this, and we were going to have a vehicle connection at that point between the two properties, so we were going to extend the bicycle into there with the hopes, and that would get people over to Martin Street.
Yes.
Which is a much better place to put bicycles than on Atherton Street, so until the Temple property, now my internet's went out, until the Temple property develops, we won't really have a firm place to send bicycles to. But for now, since we're sending them to Atherton now, we'll just continue that with a share the road type of connection.
So maybe pavement markings are an option, the sharrows on the pavement, or
Yes.
some signage.
Yes, we could do that, sure.
Where at, Alex, are you
On
thinking?
that,
Newberry, whatever, Berry,
Roxbury.
Roxbury?
yeah, on this piece here.
Yeah,
So have you seen the sharrows on Devonshire?
yeah,
Something like that?
yeah. But then if common sense were to prevail, it looks like when this development gets built out, that the more natural bike path would be kind of towards the rear, connecting to,
Yeah.
well, connecting towards the Martin Street direction.
Yes, so the bike path both goes to the Temple property,
Can you put up the master plan, Alex?
and then there was also a reservation of an easement to connect to the property, which is now Park Forest Apartments,
Yeah,
across off the back there, so if that, now, same thing, it's up to the adjoining property owner, but if it can be worked out.
yeah. So Tony and Doug, didn't we have, so there is, are you referring to, there's apparently a pedestrian easement between this parcel and what will be in Ferguson Township across from Westcoy? Am I right on that? And I know that's Ferguson, so I want to be careful what I say. But I thought,
No, because, well, we haven't negotiated that yet with the Temple property
yeah,
owners. I mean, yeah, we want to see pedestrian and bicycle traffic through the Temple property also.
yeah,
And again, moving them down towards Martin Street and Aaron.
yeah,
There we go.
Thank you.
yeah,
So currently, the on-street bicycle plan, and by on-street, I'm talking about the additional 4 feet on either side for a bike lane, goes from Park Forest Avenue to the Temple property
Yeah.
through the site. But it also includes an easement across the property that connects this path to the property of Park Forest Apartments.
yeah.
So that you could go this way or this way, whatever route, I guess, would come first, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I wonder
to
if that'll
connect.
naturally become a path.
I'm told people use it now. There
Yeah.
are people on the site now, so.
Yeah. Good. Any other discussion? Planning Commission, can we have a motion?
A motion that we vote.
And that motion includes putting bicycle parking in, am I correct?
Yes,
Yeah, it's required by.
it's, because it's required, I thought, yeah.
Okay, do we have a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Rich. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any nays? So moved. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 5, status report on pending items. I guess, Alex, is that you?
Yeah, so the only thing I want to report on is the bicycle parking regulations are going to we're going to have a public hearing on September 14th at the Board of Supervisors meeting to discuss that and move that forward.
Okay. Any other business? Very good. We will adjourn the meeting.
On one moment, please.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jim.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jim.
Question with Nicole Pollock leaving. Where are we going with affordable housing, and who is going to step into a planner role, and how long that's going to be before it happens?
Great question.
Why don't you go ahead, Alex?
Well, Mark Bogle is here. He represents Harris Township, and now he's helping us. He's with CRPA, and he's filling in for Nicole while they look for a replacement. He was her supervisor at CRPA.
Okay. Jim, does that